Hello everyone, welcome to Sam's Summaries. This episode is a deep dive discussion into Sam Fury's summary of Chapter 10 from the book Models by Mark Manson. It has been created with the help of AI. The chapter is titled How to Overcome Anxiety. You can read the original post at samfury.com.
All right, so it looks like you're ready to tackle this anxiety thing, especially when it comes to approaching women. Well, you've come to the right place because today we're diving deep into Mark Manson's Models, specifically Chapter 10.
Yeah, this chapter is gold.
It really is. It's all about building confidence and actually making a move when you meet someone you're interested in.
Yeah.
Taking that leap.
And one of the things that Manson does really well is he just addresses the elephant in the room right away.
What's that?
Rejection.
Ah, yeah, the big R.
He doesn't sugarcoat it. He just comes right out and says it. Rejection is part of the game.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about attractive women.
Right, because I think a lot of guys, and I'm definitely guilty of this too, we assume that if we get rejected, it's because there's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
You take it personally. Totally. Right? But what Manson's saying is, it's not necessarily personal. It's more like attractive women just get approached all the time.
Constantly.
So they have to be selective.
They have to filter. Otherwise, they'd be on dates 24/7. And he also makes this really interesting point that for most people, rejecting someone else is actually a really uncomfortable experience.
Yeah, nobody likes to be the bad guy.
Right. So it's not something they enjoy doing.
It's not like they're getting some kind of sadistic pleasure out of it.
No, not at all. They actually hate it.
Wow, I never thought about it that way.
So really, it's less about you and more about them just trying to navigate a situation that they're often put in.
Okay, that actually makes me feel a little better about the whole thing. It takes some of the pressure off. It's not personal. It's just part of the process.
Exactly. And here's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Manson actually argues that instead of trying to avoid rejection, we should actually embrace the anxiety that comes with it.
Yeah, what? Embrace the anxiety. How does that help?
Well, he points to research that shows that people actually perform better when they have a little bit of anxiety, as long as they have the skills to back it up. He even cites this study from the University of California, where they found that people giving speeches actually did better when they were a little nervous.
Oh, really?
Apparently, that nervous energy can actually sharpen your focus.
So it's not the anxiety itself that's the problem. It's more about whether you have the confidence and skills to handle the situation.
Precisely.
So it's about being prepared, having that foundation.
And speaking of skills, Manson makes this really encouraging point.
I could use some encouragement.
He says that if you can hold a conversation with your friends and family, you already have the basic communication skills you need to approach a woman.
That's reassuring. So it's not about learning some secret pickup artist routine or something.
No, it's not about using some cheesy line. It's about genuine connection.
So it sounds like the real challenge is taking action, even when you're feeling anxious. So does Manson offer any practical tips for how to actually do that?
He does. And it all comes down to what he calls a gradual approach.
A gradual approach.
So for example, instead of walking up to a woman and immediately asking her out, he suggests starting with something much smaller.
Like what?
Like simply asking for the time. Like just asking for the time.
Okay.
The idea is to gradually build up your confidence by taking these small steps.
Small steps.
Yeah. And once you're comfortable asking for the time, maybe you introduce yourself.
Right.
Then who knows, maybe you strike up a conversation.
Okay, so baby steps. I like that. But even if I'm feeling more confident, there's still that fine line between being assertive and being, creepy. How do I make sure I don't cross that line?
Well, Manson addresses that too.
Okay, good.
He talks about the importance of self-awareness, especially when you're making an unconventional approach.
All right.
Like, let's say you decide to walk up to a woman in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just launch into some cheesy pickup line.
Yeah, no, that's never a good look.
Right. Instead, acknowledge the situation. You could say something like, I know this might seem random, but
Oh, I see.
it shows that you're not oblivious to social cues.
That's a good tip. It's like you're acknowledging that what you're doing is a little out of the ordinary, but you're confident enough to do it anyway.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot between confidence and awareness.
Confidence and awareness.
You're being bold, but you're also being respectful.
I gotta say, I'm really liking Manson's approach so far. It seems really practical and down to earth. And you know what? It seems like these ideas could apply to more than just approaching women,
Absolutely.
like in other areas of life.
Yeah, whether you're trying to start a business or give a presentation or even just speak up more in meetings, the principles are the same. It's all about managing anxiety and building confidence.
So it's about taking those skills and applying them to different contexts.
Exactly.
So if we're trying to apply this to other areas of life, what would be the key takeaways?
Well, first remember that anxiety is normal. Don't try to fight it.
Okay.
Everyone feels anxious from time to time. The key is to accept it and not let it control you.
Accept it.
Yeah. Okay, what else?
Remember that you already have the skills you need. We talked about that.
You're more capable than you think. It's just a matter of putting yourself out there and taking action.
Taking action.
And that leads to the third takeaway, which is to start small and build from there.
Okay.
Take those baby steps like Manson suggests, and gradually work your way up to bigger challenges.
So start small and gradually increase the difficulty.
Right. And as you take action and see yourself succeed, you'll start to build this positive feedback loop.
A positive feedback loop.
Action leads to confidence, which leads to more action, and so on. It's a powerful cycle.
I love that idea of a positive feedback loop. It's almost like a snowball effect for confidence.
Exactly. And the more you practice, the less daunting those initial steps will seem. You'll start to see anxiety as a challenge to overcome, not something to fear.
That's a great way to look at it. This has been so insightful. I feel like we've uncovered some really powerful strategies here, not just for dating, but for life in general.
I agree. And what's so refreshing about Manson's approach is that it's not about gimmicks or quick fixes. It's about building genuine, lasting confidence from the inside out.
It's about the long game.
Exactly.
It's about building that solid foundation.
Exactly. And, it's not a quick fix.
No, it's a journey.
Yeah, it's a process.
And that's where the real growth happens.
For sure.
Well, we've covered so much ground today. Embracing anxiety-building skills, taking action. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you, the listener, with a little challenge.
Okay, I like it.
We focused a lot on approaching women. But how can you take these ideas and apply them to other areas of your life where you might be feeling stuck?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Where do you feel hesitant or intimidated?
Yeah, think about that.
Is it at work in your personal life?
It could be anything.
What are some small, manageable steps you can take today to push past those boundaries?
You don't have to do it all at once.
Baby steps, right?
Exactly.
Start small, build momentum, and watch that confidence snowball.
It's amazing how much progress you can make when you just start taking those little steps.
And remember, everyone's journey is different. Experiment with these ideas from Mark Manson's models and find what works best for you.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Exactly. It's all about finding what resonates with you.
Keep learning, keep growing, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. You might be surprised at what you can achieve.
That's such a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it as insightful as we did. Until next time.
Thanks for tuning in to Sam's Summaries. If you found this episode useful, let us know with a like, follow, and share. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to visit samfury.com to get free access to all of Sam's original summaries, which you can download as PDFs, as well as other exclusive content. It's all completely free at samfury.com.